Hello, my name is Angela Rodriguez, and this is my interpersonal communications project for Human Services 508 at Liberty University. Throughout this presentation, when you hear this sound, you'll know it's time to advance the slide. Are you ready? How befitting that our university is called Liberty, for it's through divine learning, the divine learning process, that we find, or at least I have found, liberty. Liberty means free from bondage, and that's exactly what this course of study has done for me. It has provided me with liberty to look inside myself. Without knowing the truth, you are held captive to and by the hidden fallacies that we call reality. My reality was to stay hidden from others. However, I was in plain sight, always doing, always involved, yet not very many people truly knew me. I liked it because it was safer that way. If I allowed you to get close to me, then you might hurt me. So I stayed in my cave, my safe place, and had no intention on coming out. But then I began this journey. It has taken me places that I thought I would never go, and for that, I am truly grateful. One of John Stewart's basic assumptions is that there is a direct link between the quality of your communication and the quality of your life. He continued that communication is where humanness happens, and that humans participate in an ongoing process that we do not completely control. Together, we're always constructing meaning, and this process is called communication. In Communicating Positively, an article by Higgins and Rourke, the authors state that it is the language we choose that allows others to fully understand our expectations and our outcomes. Over the past few weeks, I've learned that me, the person I was communicating to others, was not the real me, was not the real person that I am. I was hiding from the truth and ultimately deceiving myself. The overarching goal for my life is to discover and speak my truth. Now this may sound very simplistic, but for me, that's profound. I learned years ago that you can't conquer what you're not willing to confront, and you can't confront what you're not willing to identify. And I was okay with that. I knew it, but I had no intention of changing me. Stewart states that the self is an enduring aspect of human personality, an invisible inner core that is stable over time and slow to change. For me, this is a struggle, to be true to yourself and to find yourself. Thomas Paine so eloquently stated that such is the irresistible nature of truth that all it asks and all it wants is the liberty of appearing. There's that word again, liberty. I've always heard that we don't see things as they are, and we don't see things as they are, but rather we see things as we are. The Word of God states in Proverbs 23:7 that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So in order to enlarge my conversation, I had to begin thinking and seeing myself differently. I must see myself worthy of the effort and the conversation, constructing meaning, or as Stewart would say, allowing myself to go beyond the hard facts. The uniquely you profile played a great role in bringing clarity and understanding in my life, which gave me insight and direction for enlarging my conversation because it helped me to identify me. Dr. Mel's Carbonell, author of How to Solve the People Puzzle, stated that diversity describes our differences but does not explain why we are different. Personality types explain how we think, feel, and act as individuals, and identifying these differences is vital in understanding our behavior. And that understanding the four-quadrant model of basic human behavior explains why people do what they do. The behavior model uses an acronym DISC, D-I-S-C, and each letter represents a temperament type. D represents a temperament that is dominant. I is for inspiring. If you're an S, you're supportive. If you're a C, you're cautious. The profile can also determine if you have an outgoing or reserved personality, or if you are a task or people-oriented person. According to background behavior and the blend of the uniquely you profile, I am a DC, or the driving competent type. I am irritated by weakness, incompetence, disorganization, individuals who lack discipline, a plan, a purpose, and direction. Under pressure, I become dictatorial, domineering, bossy, angry, moody, critical, and contemplative, and my daughters agree. For the sake of stress management, I need to learn to loosen up. Get this one, communicate, be tolerant. How about this one? Open and trusting, patient, and friendly. A blend of my profile was with the S personality in the area of servant. I truly have the heart of a servant. Every aspect of my life is involved with serving others, and I feel that I am able to do so. Of course, my personality style, which the public sees, has been greatly influenced by my conversation. For the public, or those that do not truly know me, see me as task-driven. However, I am sensitive, but don't want others to know this. I desire to help others behind the scenes, but get really upset if they don't do it well. According to the profile, I am able to adapt well from one environment to another, which has influenced my conversation positively because it is great for pretending, which is where I'm most comfortable, but it has influenced my conversation negatively because it has made it easier for me to remain there. The pieces have begun to come together. I have begun to see how others perceive and relate to me, but even more grand than that, I have begun to see me. I cannot offer my best service to clients nor communicate effectively until I identify and confront who I am, therefore bringing clarity to the conversations as well as the relationships. Martin Luther King said that we hate each other because we fear each other. We fear each other because we do not know each other. We do not know each other because we are separated from each other. As discussed earlier during this process of finding myself, I discovered that I separate or tend to shut myself off from others, preventing me from knowing others or allowing others to know me. I call this relationship resistance. This is the one barrier I know I must overcome. How will I accomplish this? Well, I will work on my perceptions of others. Burley Allen tells us that effective listening often depends on what's going on in the head and the heart of those communicating, rather than what's taking place on the outside. Let me say that again. That effective listening often depends on what's going on the head and the heart of those communicating, rather than what's taking place on the outside. So I will, A, have appropriate filters in place. We can create a world that is critical and hostile, or one that is friendly and supportive. I will, B, realize that I instantly feel the effects of my own judgments. That's pretty powerful. The practicing of judging others and refusing to accept them is self-defeating. I will C, be cautious and aware of how I am appraising others, for it can actually be telling me something about myself. According to Uniquely You, the personality profile, I need to learn that relaxation is not a bad word. Therefore, an additional challenge or barrier for me is the practice of soul care. So, I will enforce the airbag principle, which is a wonderful friend shared with me, whose name is Reverend J.R. McMillan.